these pornographic videos a lot of people watch, most people don't understand that they're actors at the end of the day.
Exactly.
This isn't reality.
Right.
The acts that they're doing, the positions that they're in, whatever the role is of the female and the male, they're just paid actors.
Correct.
But it's unfortunate that a lot of people fall into this, as we said, this kind of dark hole, thinking that this is what I want to experience as well. Why wasn't I able to experience the hot teacher, my friend's
Right.
mom, blah 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 blah, all these movies that come out.
That would be like coming to LA for the first time and thinking you're going to see buildings blowing up downtown all the time because you watched Die Hard or because you think that's what goes on in LA all the time.
Well, even more so than that, it's I think another example would be, say you watch the NBA, NHL, NFL, whatever, baseball, MLB, whatever sport you're in. Say you watch LeBron James play, right? And you pick up your basketball and you go outside, you think, well, now I'm going to try to do the same moves.
Right.
And I'm going to shoot the same way he does, dunk the same way. After one or two ankle flips, you realize I'm nowhere near the shape LeBron James is in. It's no different than porn. I mean, that's what these people do for a living.
Yeah.
And they have, their enhancements, they have their whatever they need to be able to perform. And it's not one cut, one scene. It's multiple cuts, and just like a movie you brought up, right? And if you try to replicate that, you're going to disappoint yourself, because just like you're going to disappoint yourself in the basketball court or in a hockey rink or baseball field, you're going to disappoint yourself in bed, because that's not what you do professionally.
It's not your body. And it's like, it's the same would be as if you're comparing yourself to those adult film actors. As you said, it's their profession. It's what they do. They know how to position themselves. They know what they look like. And then we build this sort of insecurity around that, where people feel like they can't measure up to that, or they don't look that way. So a lot of sexual inadequacy can come as a result of that also, if people don't have a healthy sense of themselves and their own bodies and their own sexuality.
Yeah, and it's been now taken up a notch even more so with OnlyFans, because at one point, even if you thought, okay, it's a long shot for me to even become a porn star, or even if that crossed your mind, because you're like, well, at the end of the day, what am I going to get paid? A few $1,000s per scene at best.
Right.
But then now you're seeing OnlyFans and some of these women glorified because they're making more money than a LeBron James or a Messi. And what are they doing? They're just on camera showing themselves off to a lot of desperate men and making $40, $50, $80 million a year. And I'm sure there's a lot of young women out there who can't help but think, well, so I'm going to go to school for 5-6 years of college, right? Get my master's degree.
Get in debt
for $200,000. Make maybe, if I'm lucky, $60,000 a year, and then work my way up. When I can just take my clothes off and possibly make $1 million this first year.
Right.
And I think society is being ruined by that. As you said, internet is a beautiful thing because we have access to information, especially now with AI and everything. But at the same time, it's destroying families, because when you start, if you don't have the proper guidance, you start comparing, like $60,000 a year versus $1 million, or potentially $40 million a year. What the hell am I going to go to college for?
Right.
I only have so many years when men are interested at looking at me naked. I'm going to take advantage of that now.
Right.
And then when you listen, I don't know if you guys have ever listened to some of these girls' podcast interviews.
They're as dumb as a doorknob, bro. I mean, it's sad. It's sad.
It's sad. Yeah.
But that's what society's becoming now because of all of this. It's a shame that, because you mentioned the 50s, 60s, right? I mean, we all knew, well, we weren't born, but people knew JFK was a ladies' man, right? I don't know if you call him a womanizer, but he was with multiple women. Frank Sinatra, right? Who was the other one?
Yeah, these are Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
These are powerful individuals, mind you that as well. People, as Doctor said, people wanted to be around individuals like that.
Right, but everybody knew it wasn't taboo per se. Like as far as well, they're not being monogamous. They're not a good role model because our focus was more so about who they were as artists or as a politician.
I think we've always held entertainers and politicians to different standards. We don't anymore. And that's what I think you're talking about, that this internet has opened the door to everybody's private lives. Nothing is sacred. We know everything about everything. And that's the culture that we're living in right now. There's little to no decorum. Morality is dubious now. Ethics are dubious. So it's kind of a free for all. And it makes it really, really challenging to raise healthy children, sexually healthy children,